Welcome to the MPG Podcast, where your host, John Grabio, talks racing, driving, training, and cars with Newman Watts racing driver Jordan Missig. And now, here's John and Jordan.
Hello, everyone. I am John Grabio. Welcome to the MPG Podcast, the Missig Performance Group. And here we are again with Newman Watts racing driver Jordan Missig, who is, we were just talking about this, is sim rig racing-less right now. I made that word up. The sim rig is on its way up to Jordan. You are in Florida, and the sim rig is on its way to.
I'm still in Florida, yes, and the sim rig's on its way up to Audubon Country Club in our garage up there.
Okay, so tell us what has been going on last week. So you had your final race last week in the FRAmericas Challenge?
Championship, yeah. We had our final race at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. It was a fan-picked track, so fans had the ability to go on FRAmericas Facebook page as well as their Instagram page, and it was gone through about 8 different tracks were listed. So there were tracks like from the Midwest region, which were Belle Isle in Detroit, the Detroit Street Circuit, as well as Circuit Joe Villeneuve, Indianapolis, and Iowa Speedway. And then you had the West Coast tracks, which were Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Sonoma, WeatherTech Laguna Seca, and then I believe the last track, if I get my facts straight, I think it was another California track, I remember that. So, all these tracks got voted on by all the fans at FRAmericas Facebook page and Instagram page, and the 2 finalist tracks that were picked were WeatherTech Laguna Seca for the Western region, and then Circuit Joe Villeneuve for the Midwest, and they both went to get head-to-head against each other, and WeatherTech Laguna Seca won out the vote to be our final race of the FRAmericas Championship season.
And?
So we started off the race, only 20 cars were only able to make the field. So they narrowed the field down to where it was normally 30 to 20 cars. So some of us had to qualify our way in. So they had a qualifying session up Monday night, the night before the race.
Oh, really?
To where only 15 cars, to where only 16 cars, I believe, could make the race, because the top 4, they saved reserved spots for the top 4 championship drivers, so they automatically were in the fight out for the championship. And they want to have a relatively clean race, relatively showcasing race, because the fans picked this track out. So only the top 16 guys in this qualifying session were able to go on to race on Tuesday night. So I was able to put a decent time in to get the 13th spot in qualifying, so I was good, safe by 3 spots. So I was able to lock myself in for the race on Tuesday night.
All right, cool.
So then we moved into the actual race, which was on Tuesday night. Qualifying was a little bit strategical for me. I knew myself was in this position to win the Save Out Hard Charger Award. But to do that, I wanted to secure myself by purposely kind of starting in the back to allow me to not lose any positions, but to only move forward from there. So what I did was...
strategy, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of forego the race to try to go get a good finish or any wins, just to try to move up as many positions and keep the car as clean as possible without running into any incidents. So I started 20th, but if I was to put a good lap in, I probably would have started in the 12th or 13th position. So that's where I would tried a good lap just to see what I would do. Started the race out in 20th. The first couple of corners were really well, all the way until we got up to the corkscrew on the first lap. And we had a couple incidents at the top of the corkscrew, and then again at the bottom of the corkscrew. I almost ran into someone.
That's the craziest section of a track I've ever seen. Not that I've ever been on it. I've only sim raced on it, but that is a crazy section of a track.
Yeah, it is a quick left to right with a huge, 3-story elevation drop.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally jump off that thing and feel like you're going to fly for a mile.
Have you driven that track in real life?
Yes, actually I have.
Is it very, I'm assuming it's similar to the...
Well, I'll tell you what. from experiencing, because we did the Radical Cup Series 2 years ago there at Laguna Seca there. So when you go into the corner, the first left-hander feels all right. It feels like a nice little embankment corner. But as soon as you crest and are about to go over the hill, you don't see anything as you go over. You don't see anything until you start to drop. And when you start to drop, you can feel it in your stomach. You just whoosh. And you're just like, whoa. Like you just fell. Three stories, literally. And then what happens is that you compress. The whole car compresses, and you can feel yourself kind of go into the floorboard of the car almost as you're coming back to the right for the right-hander of the corkscrew. So, and if you hit it fast enough and right enough, and you put yourself put your foot back on the throttle, you can feel the rear tires get light, the back end gets light, the rear tires start to spin, and you literally feel the rear end of the car come off the ground.
Wow, it's crazy looking. That's for sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see on TV, but TV doesn't do its justice. You have to physically be there just to see how crazy it is. But to get the real feel of it, you really need to drive it. And I tell you what, there's nothing more scarier than spinning out in the middle of the corkscrew.
So
because you feel like you're going to spin, and the next thing you know, when you turn around, you go backwards, and who knows where you're going to end up.
Well, I interrupted your story. So the first lap, you're headed to the corkscrew in the sim race last week, and
so we went up to the first lap into the corkscrew. About 5 cars, or 3 or 4 cars, were wrecked on top of the corkscrew. Another 3 or 4 were wrecked on the bottom of the corkscrew. So I had to weave my way through that traffic. Was able to do it without almost running into someone. So was able to get through the corkscrew cleanly. And then there was another incident down at turn 12, I believe, which is the last corner on the racetrack, right before the start-finish straight, and I had to weave through that. I passed about 3 other cars through there, so was able to rally myself from starting the 20th spot, past half the field, and finish 10th.
Oh, wow. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were awarded the Sable
Hard Charger Award, yes, at the end of the season.
Yeah, congratulations. Very good.
Yeah, so with this prize, we get a discount price products. We get a certificate for any of Sabel's products and merchandise for us. So I should be receiving that in a few days, I believe.
Have you got your eye on some stuff?
Not yet. No, I have not done any research on it yet to see what I could possibly be looking at or anything. But so I'm gonna have to get busy on that for sure.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And next was the Autobahn race.
Yeah, the Autobahn race at Summit Point. We did that last week. That was a pretty fun race to just kind of watch. I knew coming in, I didn't really put much practice into it, whereas some guys like Sean Barwig and Paulo put maybe a little bit more practice in than I did, and obviously have a little bit more confidence driving those cars. Remember, I'm used to high downforce cars, open wheel cars. Well, these guys are more used to Porsches, obviously, bigger cars that have a little bit more weight to it. Taking it easy the whole entire race while them two were battling it out.
Yeah,
and
this race was
sitting in third place.
Yeah, this race was in a Mazda Miata MX-5 Global Cup car.
Yeah.
That was at this race.
So,
yeah. And what did you get third?
Yeah, I finished third. I finished second. Excuse me.
Oh, that's right. It was second. That's right. Yeah.
Paulo and Sean got into each other a little bit, and then Sean kind of got into me at the late going. It was probably because I was hitting the brakes a little bit too early, trying to just nurse the car home a little bit. And I don't know if it was him being over aggressive or whatnot, but anyway, he hit me, but he was nice enough to just kind of stop and show the sportsmanship that we have together with each other. So he just kind of let me back through, and I was able to go on and finish second.
Yeah, very good. And then was there another race on Saturday, right?
Yes. Radical Cup racing was Saturday. This race was out at Silverstone. I got some pretty quality camera time. They were able to follow me for my qualifying lap. I did a pretty decent lap. It was a pretty good lap, but it wasn't my fastest, unfortunately. So I think I qualified into the 13th spot and then was able to just kind of lug the car around to about 6th for most of the race, up to 5th at one point. And then fell back to about 8th place towards the end of the race. So I was able to finish 8th for the Radical Cup race out at Silverstone.
Okay, all right. That's a lot of racing.
Yeah, but hopefully, now that we've kind of come into the second week of May almost, we're we're going to be getting into some real racing now, obviously.
That's right. So the Audubon Country Club opens up the track tomorrow, May 7th, for 6 hours, 7 hours. And then Friday, May 8th, it'll open up completely. And so you're headed back up to the Audubon Country Club tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, correct, yes.
Tomorrow morning. And flying up there, right?
Yeah, flying out there via Southwest Airlines.
Oh, very good, very good. Excellent, excellent airline to be flying up to Chicago with. So you'll be at the track on Friday morning.
Yes.
And will the car be out Friday morning?
Yes, car will be there Friday morning to be on track and be tested in. So the team is expecting to come down Thursday. I'm going to be there Thursday evening. The team is expecting to bring the car down Thursday evening to load up our garage with, because we're going to use our garage as our storage building, or our garage stall, I should say. So we'll have the car there, have it ready to go for Friday morning, be on track all day Friday, and then Saturday as well.
Okay, outstanding. So we should see you Friday, and I believe we're going Friday. I assume we're going Friday. We'll see. We'll see how that all shakes out when I get back home.
You're really gonna like the car when you see it. I'll tell you that. You're really gonna like it.
Well, I want to ride. Of course, I want to ride in it. Is there any way you can strap me on the back?
And that's why they're called single seaters for a reason. There's only one seat. And that's only the driver's position. Unless you get like Mario Andretti's 2-seater Indy car. I wish we could get that somehow.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be fun. But I can't wait to see it in person. I've seen pictures of it, but I can't wait to see it in person. And so take me through. This is the first time you. No, this is not the first time you've driven it.
No, this will not be the first time.
Down in Florida for some practice, right? So take me through a little bit about what you're going to be looking for in the car on Saturday. Is it going to be like super slow stuff? You work up slowly, and then how do you do that? You just check tire pressures and.
I think really for me, the first maybe 2 laps might be slow, just to kind of make sure everything's still working properly ever since, because we haven't been in the car for about 2.5 months, really. So, just to make sure everything's working right. No, there's no leaks or anything like that. So the 2 laps at the very beginning will probably be like observation laps just to see if anything works. Then I'm pretty sure I will go out for maybe like a 10-lap run, I'd say, and I'll just kind of build up speed. But I should be probably up to speed by like around lap 5, or maybe even earlier. So we'll see.
And will you guys make adjustments on the car? Downforce adjustments through the whole day? Yeah. What
we're gonna do, we have a plan. Our plan normally is to where my engineer Brian Hallahan, who's the team principal for Newman Walks Racing, he'll make some adjustments to the car, and he won't tell me what the adjustments are at all that he's made. And he knows what kind of changes it should make to the car, and what he wants to do is hear my feedback to what I give to see if it's accurate or matches to what he expected the car to do. So that way we're kind of both on the same page. I don't know what to expect, and then I just have to relay the feedback to him on what I think of the changes, if it made the car better, if it made it worse, where did it make it better, and where did it make it worse.
Gotcha. And does he get telemetry feedback live from the car as you're going on track, or do you have to download that once you get back? How does that work?
Yeah, we download it once we get back. We don't have the technology that the Formula One guys have, unfortunately. Yeah. So there are ways to do it, yes. I know Turn 3 Motorsports was able to do it when they were at the 24 Hours of Thunderhill in their Radical sports car. They were able to have live telemetry, but for us, we just go off of data that we have to plug into the ECU unit that's in the car, and it brings the data back to where we can see like the engine life and everything, life data, as well as the data on how we are lap time wise and throttle position and everything.
Okay, very cool. And so it'll be a very busy weekend getting it all back in. And any races scheduled yet?
No races have been scheduled as of yet, but what we have going on is we're going to be testing at Audubon this weekend, as well as a little bit of next week. It will be the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Then we load up the Newman Walks Racing trailer and truck, and we're going out to Barber Motorsports Park the 17th and 18th of May. So it'll be a Sunday, Monday of the following week after next week. We'll be out there for a 2-day test with some FRAmerica guys. Again, Barber is a track that we will be racing at later in the year, so it's a good chance for us to get on and familiarize ourselves with a track that we'll be racing on later that year. And then immediately following that, we're going straight from Barber up to Virginia and going to VIR, Virginia International Raceway, and testing there on the 20th and 21st of May later that week.
Wow.
So getting all the preseason testing done pretty quickly, I will say.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, well, you got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And
we got everything planned out. We're going to hope for a very solid test to hope to learn a lot for sure and kind of get used to the car. This will be my first time getting into the car and actually open it up to what real-life racing speed will be like. So pretty exciting and interesting to see how everything happens.
So South Track at the Autobahn in a Radical, you're doing a 120?
We're doing fastest we've done is 118, but yeah, eventually we're doing like 120, 121, so maybe sometimes 122s.
So what do you expect? What would you expect from the new car? Similar?
Expect a little bit quicker. This car's going to be quicker on the straights for sure, and especially getting up to speed acceleration-wise. So I'd expect maybe around 116, 117 lap times, maybe 118, somewhere in that ballpark range.
Wow. All right. Well, we hope to be witnessing of that on this coming up. It's going
to be. You'll definitely, you won't be able to miss it. That's for sure. You'll definitely see it, especially when it travels on the paddock and everything. And I think it's going to get a lot of people's attention too, because they're not really going to see a car like that besides a Formula Mazda around there or Pro Mazda itself. You know, everybody knows when they see Antoine Kumu's Pro Mazda going on track, so everybody will know when it's my FRAmericas car going on track.
Well, very, very cool. All right. Well, sounds like you got a plan. We can't wait to hear how the testing goes next week when we get back together. And school, are you done with school yet?
I just finished up my last project today, turned in and submitted, so I'm done with school projects. I do have 2 finals on top of my travel day tomorrow to attend to. So luckily they're just in-class presentations that I just have to attend the class. I don't have to really do much, but I still have to attend class while I'm also traveling back home from the airport.
All right. Well, good luck with that. All right, Jordan.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, John. We'll talk to you later.